So just feel that breath on an inhale. The cues that I'll use today whenever we breathe is long, in other words, deep. We always think of deep and you think, oh yeah, I gotta. No, it's just low, low in that cavity down here. Thinking in TCM, we would call this the lower jiao, where the lower dantian is. On an exhale, feel those abdominals just contract. Feel that pelvic floor come up to help exhale that air. On an inhale, long, slow, and all the breath through the nose. All the breath through the nose. Long, slow, and then soft, where you might put a feather in front of your nose and not even see the feather move. And smooth, to where the inhales and the exhales, just think of that infinity symbol where it just comes around and comes back. And it's even and it's moving. The breath moves in that infinity symbol. At least that's our goal every day. Just moving easily, long, slow, soft, and smooth. So the practice today will be using just some gentle movements. And when you move, this is not a vinyasa hot power flow thing. Some of the postures may be, or movements may be somewhat strenuous, but just keep in mind 3 words: calm, relaxed, and natural. Just easy, calm, relaxed, and natural. So let's just begin by warming up our wrists, clasping your hands, rotating your wrists in one direction, and then reversing, going the other direction. And then we'll switch our grip. So whichever thumb has been on top, move that. Switch places and rotate. And then switch directions and rotate. And now just that gentle lifting of the shoulders and coming across the body with your hands. Again, slow, calm, relaxed, and natural. A lot of times in our movements, we'll use momentum to help us get through areas of our flexibility or range of motion that we may not be as comfortable in or as smooth in. You know, you can think of the 3-legged dog and then going into runner's lunge. We use that 3-legged dog to run through and push our leg forward. But by doing that, and if it's effective, it does it, but by doing that, we're foregoing the chance to. Now let's bring our hands to our shoulders and just rotate forward. And again, slow, feeling that chest collapsing as we come forward. Push down as you come down. Feel that opening of the chest. Back, shoulder blades come together. Up, shoulder blades lift. Just as slow. You might actually challenge yourself, how slow can you do this? Feeling the rotation in your shoulder. You could probably feel your shot location too. And then reverse and do the other direction. Once again, feeling it really when you come down, when you come forward, up, and then back. And then release that. Now, feet about shoulder width, maybe a little bit narrower. Hands on the back of your hips. And now, we'll tilt our pelvis first forward, tucking your tailbone. So this would be a flatten in the soma stretch. And then to the side. So if your tailbone was drawing a circle on the ground, first you'd start in front of you, and then your tailbone would draw to the right or to the left, and then back, and then to the other side. So it's like a super slow hula hoop, hips, just really slow, feeling all that rotation, drawing a really slow circle on the ground. And then when you're ready, reversing that, going the other direction. And now bring your hands to your knees. Bring your feet together. First we can rotate the knees once again in slow circles. Feeling your ankles, your knees go to the side. Noticing how your toes are gripping, assisting to keep you stable. And then go the other direction. And then releasing. Now we'll rotate our ankles and our wrists at the same time. Flexing the ankle, then extending, then to the side. In some of our hip opener motions today, we'll be actually connecting with the foot too. So that motion where you're using the foot almost like a cup and then using that foot to push away. And then switch and do the other side. Now we'll just do a forward fold and a ragdoll. But ever so slowly come down. Soften your knees, bend your knees as you come down. Slowly come down. If it's beneficial or helpful, you can gently rub your lower back as you come down, starting at the bottom of your ribs, feeling that muscle along your back, then the top of your pelvis, then the back of your glutes, your hamstrings. Pay special attention to the back of your knees. Give those slow, long rubs. As you do that, feeling the softness in your back as your back opens up. That whole back line is attached by fascia that we can affect. And the key point is the back of the knees. It's a fascial point that releases that lower back. And the back of your calves. And then when you're ready with soft knees, grab opposite elbows and just come into ragdoll. Turn to one side, imagining that you're looking up to the corner of the room, and then back to center. Now switch, look at the other corner of the room, the other side of the room, back to center. One more time, looking at the corner of the room, twisting, turning, back to center. Now the other part of the room, finding that upper corner, and then back to center. Now slowly, ever so slowly rise, straightening the legs, straightening the lumbar, that lower back, then your upper back, and then finally your neck and your head where your gaze is forward. We'll do a qigong movement that's called golden exchange. So first, arms at your side, and again, this is gentle. We'll lift earth chi to shoulder height, palms up, rotating your wrists, and then gather heaven chi. Bring it down your body. Now we'll touch the side of our ribs and then our lower back, folding forward, back of our hamstrings, knees. Let your hands touch the ground, grounding yourself. And then up the inner part of your feet, your inner calves, inner thighs, up your groin, up your midsection. And then We'll open our hands into a prayer, and then dropping the hands. We'll just do this on emotion, lifting up, lifting earth chi, switching to gather heaven chi, bringing that down, connecting with our kidney channel, our bladder channel, as we come down, up the inside, yin channels, up our midline, conception vessel, to our middle dantian, releasing our hands to our side, lifting yin chi, gathering yang chi, bringing that down, along our sides, our back, hands grounding to the earth, coming up yin channels, bringing up that nurturing, and then back to heart center, a prayer, of just settling for a minute, calm, relaxed, and natural, holding that, trying to keep that continuity for the day. Now let's move to the next exercise. Let's feet shoulder width. Let's wash windows. So imagine that you have a window in front of you, a foot or two in front. So your palms are against the window. We're just going to wash that window. First in an arc, and then back across. Switch your hands, and then let's wash that window again, feeling that side stretch. You can use your hips to actually initiate that motion. Hips are on the opposite side as your hands. Now step your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width, and we'll wash the window this way, bending your knees, and again moving slow, just washing that window. Now the knees are involved as well as the hips. Still feeling that side stretch. You can almost feel an arc coming across, squeegeeing off the center, and then over. Now step out to a horse stance. And again, now we're washing the window. Shifting that weight from side to side. Feeling the transfer of the weight from one side to the other. Lowering down. Sliding across. Do one more. Then we'll come back to feet about shoulder width. Well, we washed the window one way, let's wash it the other way. So now, whichever direction you did, once again, feeling that stretch in the side body. Hips leading. Feeling that arc of the hands. One more, and then step out a little wider than shoulder width. And again, wash the windows as you come across. Hips again leading, but now the knees are participating. Feeling that arc as you come across. Opening the shoulders. One more and step out to horse stance. Feeling those hips open as you come across. Knees are helping. I can feel those ankles as they turn and help. Give way. And then support. One more, and then we'll just come back to center. and rest. Hands at your side, mountain pose. Just relax the whole body. Calm, relaxed, and natural. Return your attention back to your breath through your nose. Long, slow, soft, smooth. Relax your whole body. You may notice that you're swaying a little bit. That's good. That's moving that energy around your body. Your body is saying, I felt an exchange. I'm ready to go. Let me receive more. Well, let's step out into a horse stance. We'll shake head and sway tail. So hands at the top of your thighs. Using that hand and that arm as almost a lever. Gently look back behind you to the side, feeling the twist of the spine. And then slowly drop your head. We'll come into a big circle. Down. Slowly, slowly. When you get to the other side, you can use the opposite arm, this gentle leverage to come up, and you can look behind you. And then back to center. Now reverse the direction, looking behind. Slowly coming down, almost using your nose as a pointer to be down and then up. And then you can feel that opposite arm pushing up, looking back behind. And then back to center. And slowly stand up. Bring your feet to knock-kneed as we come back together. Knock-kneed. And then bow-legged. Knock-kneed. Bow-legged. And then you're back to standing. The next one we'll do is called grinding tofu. So maybe like a pyramid or a triangle stance and track width and length, and then the back foot at about that degree of angle off the center of your mat. And we'll grind tofu. So this, imagine a large stone wheel. And the first process of making tofu is grinding the soaked soybeans to make soy milk. So in the old days, they literally had two stones, the big stone and then the one that moved. They would put soybeans in. Those big stones would grind those into a paste. So we're moving that stone, that big stone, so you can feel the weight transfer to the front and then to the back. Let's switch directions. Let's grind tofu the other way. Let's switch the rotation that your hands have moved that stone. Let's switch sides. So whatever foot was in front, bring that slightly behind. Now let's grind tofu. This side. Just imagining that big heavy stone that we're providing the energy to. So not only are you pulling it, you're pushing it. There's no momentum to the stone unless we make it even. Otherwise it stops, so it must be even and smooth. And then the other direction. So we want to wear the stone evenly. Maybe. Now let's just come back to stillness. in mountain once again, taking a moment to come back to our breath through our nose, long, slow, soft, and smooth. And we'll do a motion there's just a bigger extension of it, polishing a big table. So a longer stance, maybe a wider ski track width. So imagine that we're polishing, that we're in the center almost of a huge round table. We're going to polish that. So we're going to shift our weight back and reach to the side, polish out, and then forward as far as you can reach, and then to the other side, because we're going to have to transfer our weight back. Come across the body, reach back, polish out as wide as you can, as forward as you can, as wide as you can, reaching behind as much as you can. Cross your body, back, out, keeping your shoulders relaxed, letting your body do the extension. And then polish in the other direction. Buff to the back, and then the side. The other side, feeling that weight shift on your feet. Imagining the table is smooth. Now switch directions. Buff in the other direction. Across your body. And then come back to stillness. Switch feet. Whatever was in front is now behind. Let's buff the other side of the table. Reaching back. You may need to adjust the track width of your feet for balance. Just relaxing over the table. Almost scanning the horizon of the table. It's such a big table. Because it's a table of our imagination, it can be as big as our mind can make it. Do one more. And then back. Bring your feet together, mountain. Hips width, mountain pose. Relax your whole body. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Long, slow, soft and smooth. Relaxing your whole body. Now bring your feet to touch or almost to touch, whatever is comfortable. Hands to prayer, heart center. Now as the hands go to the left, or either side, the hips go the opposite direction. So hands and arms, elbows to one side, hips to the other. You may notice that your pelvis is tilting. See if you can bring your pelvis into neutral. So maybe your tailbone down rather than back. And see how that changes your sensation. You won't be able to go as low, but it'll change the sensation in your back for this side bend. And just notice moving calm, relaxed, and natural. Do one more on either side. Just enjoying that stretch as you come to the side. Now bring your hands to your hip creases, where your hips crease. And we've all done cat and cow in tabletop. So we can feel that open extension. But let's do, and we've all done chair pose. So we're going to call chair pose cow, but then we're going to do cat in a similar way. So let's do chair pose first at our hip creases. So we have our chair pose. We probably arched our back. Now, round your back, tuck your tailbone. And now back to what would be a chair pose, arch, a cow, and then switch, go to a cat, rounding the back, tucking the tailbone. Now slowly stand up. Let's do that with hands at heart center. So we're adding a little bit of load. If that's too much, just go back to hands at hip creases. But we'll sink down into chair. So here's our cow. And now round and cat. Really rounding the shoulders. And then cow, in other words, chair. And then rounding to cat, tucking that tailbone. And then slowly stand up. We'll just do one of chair and what I'm calling flying cat. I don't know, because your arms are out near cat. Anyway, so come into chair. Here's our cow. And now round, just let your arms hang into cat, flying cat. And then come back up. And just take a moment to relax the whole body. Come back to your breath. Long, slow, soft and smooth. To balance that out, let's bring our hands out, feet about a little bit wider than shoulder width, palms up. And we'll contract the body. So as we come down, so this is like shrinking cow. So come down, tailbone back, palms still towards the sky, shoulder blades together, head tip back, and then unwind. Just come back to star pose, palms up. Relax. Now contract the body again, shrinking cow. And then relax. One more time. Contract the body, shoulder blades together, elbows almost at your sides, tailbone up, and then relax the body. Relax your arms to your sides, shake out your feet, and just relax. Now let's do a moving tree. So if for balance, you might have a chair that you have that might be handy, because we're actually going to move while we're in tree pose. Let's bring our arms out for balance. Pick your side for stability. Become rooted down on that leg. Bring the other leg up, the knee to about hips width, and then open that knee out. So basically it's a tree where you're not touching. Now drop that knee and that foot back behind you. Keeping the knee down, move that foot out to the side. Now lift the knee, coming across the body. And then repeat that opening. Knee down, foot back. Knee down, ankle to the side. And then lift the knee, coming across the body. And then opening. This will be the last time on this side. And then lower that foot back to the ground. Relax your arms at your sides. If you need to gently shake to loosen up anything. I affectionately call this one, maybe somebody else has called it this first, but a vine crawling a tree. So it's kind of like that vine moving up a tree. Our tree is still rooted, but now we've got this vine. It's inversion, eversion for the kinesthetic. So let's do the other side. Arms out for balance. If you need the chair, grab your chair. Palms up. Lift this vine. Open out. Knee down, foot back. Keeping the knee stable. Foot comes to the side. Now lift the knee across the body. Now open that knee up. Knee down, foot back. Knee down, foot to the outside. Now lift the knee across the body. Now open out. Last time, knee down. Foot back across the back of the body. And then across the body, the front, and then foot down. Hands relax at your sides. Just take a moment. Calm, relaxed, and natural. The next is also a balanced posture. It's a crane. So we're going to embody a crane. So, feet together, bring your wings up, come up on your toes, flying. Wings down to shoulder height, root on one foot, bring the other foot, the other knee up. Now point your toe forward, and then rotate around your body with your foot. When it gets back behind, let your body come forward, your foot up, and then your wings back, opening up your shoulders, soaring. And then to release, bring your wings up, your foot back, and land it the same. We'll do the other side, taking a minute just to connect and ground again. The other side. Once again, wings up, on your toes, Wings back to shoulder height. Lift that knee, then point the foot, and then rotate around your body, coming to the back, letting your weight come forward, back foot up, wings back, fingers pointing to the ground. Imagining you're a big bird soaring, just looking at the earth. And now unwind, bring your wings back, land your foot, and your wings. Let's do one final standing, and then we'll come to our mat. We're going to step forward twice, so come to almost the back of your mat, the long way, to where you can move forward with just two easy, gentle steps. This is called heaven and earth aligning. We'll begin by lifting, step out with one foot, maybe at a 45 degree, and just lower. We're grabbing earth energy, bringing it up the body, keeping that yin energy that we need, and then exchanging it, giving back, taking, inhaling, exhaling. It's that exchange of energy and information. This time, it's with the earth, the yin, the creative, the nurturing, the quiet, the dark, the feminine energy, the nurturing. So we're taking that we need, and that we have, we're exchanging it back out. And the next time we come up, just simply step out with the other foot at about a 45. And we'll continue that same motion, exchanging on this side, bringing up yin energy, giving back the yin energy that we don't need. It's been said that there's no such thing as bad chi, there's just chi that you don't need at this moment. That's not good for you now. It just is. So we want to exchange, keeping the beneficial, getting rid of that we don't want. It's not serving. Now at the bottom, we'll reverse direction. Now we'll focus on yang energy. Bringing that yang energy down, back to the earth. Gather from the heavens, the yang. This is the moving. This is the heat, the warmth, the activity, the masculine, the fire. We do have those in us, but they may not be the right ones. So we can go out now, give to the earth that we don't need, grab from the universe, grab from the heavens, the yang that's better for us today. And then back down. This time as we come up, we'll step back with that foot, do the other side. Once again, gathering the yang energy, that vital, moving, dynamic force. And then exchanging. And then back down. Last one. As you come up, just step your foot back into mountain. And then just hold your hands in front of your lower dantian, the navel area, the second chakra. And just notice if you feel any energy. If you don't, that's okay. But if you feel the chi, the energy in your hands, in your lower dantian, in your body, you may notice that you're swaying and moving. That's good. That's fine. That's great. That exchange of energy is available to us. So now when you're ready, we'll come to the mat, find tabletop. Maybe a couple quick cat and cows. Whatever you feel like your body needs. Maybe back and forth. Maybe just in one. Just notice what your body needs at this moment. Now extend your hands out and come into puppy. So letting the chest fall. Chin to the mat. If you want, you can raise your palms, opening your hands to the front of the mat, wrists down, fingers and palms up. Just letting your chest come closer to the mat. If it feels good, you can move your hips from side to side or maybe twist. Whatever feels good, just to slide in, to smooth into that puppy, opening those shoulders, feeling that stretch along your side body. Noticing your breath, long, slow, soft and smooth. Well, let's continue to work on our shoulders. So come down to your belly on the mat and take one hand to one side. We'll make scissors out of our shoulders. About shoulder height. And then using your fingers to crawl your shoulders or to crawl your hands wider, to pull your shoulder blades further apart. Only do this to comfort, whatever is comfortable. So it would be that collapse of the chest that we feel when we do grapevine arms to set up for eagle. Only this time we're using the weight of our body to help us. And then release that. Switch your arms, whichever one was on top. Bring it to the other. And then switch. Once again, using your fingers to crawl out to the side. Feeling that tension as you collapse the chest. Shoulder blades coming apart. And then release. Now just bring your arms into crocodile and just relax for a minute. Come back, notice your breath. And when you're ready, we'll bring our arms out to cactus. With your knees down, lift your feet up, your soles towards the ceiling, and just windshield wiper, letting your legs fall from one side to the other. Once again, slow, gentle movements. Now lifting one leg, sole of the foot to the ceiling, drop that foot to the side, and that same arm you can use to assist yourself to come over into a twist. So you'll notice tension in your shoulder, twist in your back, an opening of your hip. Do it to your comfort level. And then bring that knee back to the mat. Return to cactus. Windshield wiper again. Gently side to side. And do the other side. So whichever knee you didn't lift, lift that sole of the foot to the ceiling and then let that knee fall to the side. Arm on the same side. Coming up. The other hand stays down in cactus. Opening the shoulder, twisting the spine, opening the hip. And then back to center. Arms at cactus, windshield wiper from side to side. And bring your arms into cactus, release your feet back to the mat, and just relax, just rest for a moment. Noticing your breath, soft and smooth, soft as much as you can make it, smooth. That infinity symbol, continuous, long as in deep in that lower jiao, deep in that abdomen. And let's make our way to our back. We'll set up for bridge pose. Your back, soles of the feet to the ground. Bring your feet to where almost touching the tips of your fingers or whatever's comfortable. And as we slowly lift for bridge, first let's lift our tailbone up. So in Soma, this would be flattening. Lift your tailbone up, and then slowly lift your hips, your pelvis. But let's imagine that we're leaving our ribs on the mat. So as we lift our pelvis, we point our tailbone, lift our pelvis. Ribs, imagine that they're coming up, but imagine that your ribs are still on the mat as your tailbone and pelvis come up. So your hips are leading. Now when you feel like where your hips are as high as they can get, take the heels of your feet and just push away. Ribs still down. And then slowly relax back to the mat. Oftentimes in bridge, the first thing we lift is those ribs to flare out, to come up, to make us appear like we're getting more height. but that puts a lot of compression on that lower back. So we want to avoid that if we can. So once again, try it one more time. Lift your tailbone, point your tailbone in an arc towards the ceiling, and then slowly lift your hips. Imagine leaving your ribs on the mat as your tailbone and your hip comes up. So there's a rope or a string pulling your hips up. And the rest of your spine is just coming along for a ride. And when you get to the top, push away with those heels. And then let's reverse that. Relax your heels. The last thing to come to the mat will be that tailbone rolling down. Now, bend your knees slightly. We'll rock back into a sacral boat. So, in the Soma, we do an arch in the flatten. So, a lot of times in boat, as we collapse our shoulders. Really what's happening is we're allowing our back to flatten. So as we do this sacral boat, imagine keeping an arch in that lower back. So we'll tip back, find that flat spot in the sacrum. Then imagine that arch in your back. And then noticing your sacrum contacting. You can keep your hands on your thighs. Because we want to focus on our back, that lower back. Make sure there's still an arch in there. And we want to feel our sacrum. Feel our connection and our grounding. And then release. We'll do that one more time. Finding the sacrum. And then finding that arch. And then releasing. Tipping back, rolling back. Bring your knees to your chest. Pull them in. Find happy baby. Grab whichever part of your foot is accessible. Your ankle, outside of the foot, your toes, inside. If it feels good, you can rock from side to side. Just be in that happy baby. Now let's grab handlebars. So bring one foot cross over. So you make an X, one thigh on top of the other thigh. And then grab the lower part of your calves, kind of like they're handlebars. So it's basically cow face pose on your back. And then as we do that, we can kind of feel some movement by arching and flattening our pelvis. We can also steer our bike. Go to the left and then go to the right. Steer back the other way. Turn the other corner. Just feeling how that impacts different areas of our hip as we turn to one side and then turn to the other. Now let's switch. Whichever leg was on top, bring the other thigh on top. Tilt that pelvis one way and the other. Tailbone down, tailbone up. Turn your bike to the right. Turn it to the left. Just noticing The sensations in the hip, different from side to side. And then release. Once again, knees to chest. Bring the soles of your feet to your mat. Come into an effortless rest. Knees up. Just do an arch and flatten of your back. Tailbone down. Tailbone up. Doing whatever release is necessary just to make that lower back, the upper back, the pelvis feel like they have come to neutral. Grab whatever props you feel like you need for Shavasana. Extend your arms and legs into any position of comfort for Shavasana. Relax. Come back to your breath. Notice your breath. Notice the area that your breath is going on an inhale. Notice how your breath is leaving on an exhale. Which part of your body is exhaling? The pelvic floor, the sides. On an inhale, what part is expanding? What part is relaxing and opening, allowing that breath to come in? Notice the quality of your breath. Is it low? Can you make it even slower? Can your breath be smoother? Can your breath be more soft? Relax your body. Relax from head to toe. Let your body melt into the mat, surrendering, releasing, letting go. Just take a couple minutes to integrate, to connect things that you might have discovered or realized or become aware of. And in a couple minutes, I'll bring you back. Now slowly bring awareness back to your breath. Noticing your inhale. Noticing your exhale. Without judging, evaluate. Is it soft? Ask yourself, is it smooth? Is it low? Is your breath low in your body? Now extend that awareness and movement out to the rest of your body and slowly make your way in whatever is comfortable to a seated position. You may bring the soles of your feet to the mat, come into an easy rest. You may stretch high above, enjoying the luxurious rest that we had. Let's bring our hands to the side of our ribs and feel on an inhale that expansion of the ribs. Noticing the breath go lower. Exhale, contracting the pelvic floor, the abdominals. Inhale, relaxing those same muscles. Diaphragm contracts, comes down. Those other muscles have to relax and release. The miracle that's our breath. One of the few beings that actually controls our breath. We share that in common with the cetaceans, the whales, the porpoises, the dolphins. They have to be aware of their breath, but for the most part, other animals, other beings don't control their breath. We can. It's a gift. It's a miracle. We can pay attention in 1 minute and control it. The next minute, completely release, and our body takes over for us. That intelligence takes over. It's a gift. So, the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra, I'll recite that as we prepare for our meditation. We'll do 3 rounds. If you know it, you can follow along. If not, just enjoy the essence of it. Inhale. Om Triyambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandhanam Mrityor Mukshya Mamrita. Om Triyambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandhanam Mrityor Mukshya Mamrita. Inhale. Om Triyambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandhanam Mrityunjaya Mantra. For the meditation, I've chosen to repeat the mantra of Om Mani Padme Hum. You can follow along if you like. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Last one. Om Mani Padme Hum. Now, from deep inside, say one thing positive to yourself. You are healthy and your chi is clear and bright. The prana in you is filled with health and light and love. Your hands are heart center. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.